A couple of my friends have posted a video over the last few days which shows a group of young Muslim people, very attractive young people, talking about how various aspects of Western life are not incompatible with their living as Muslims in Western society. So, for example, one of them is recorded as saying, well, I'm a woman, I'm a Muslim, I don't feel obliged to wear a head covering, a hijab. Another one, a young man, is recorded as saying, I have friends who are Christians, who are Jews, I don't have a problem with that, and I'm a Muslim. Another one is recorded as saying, I'm a Muslim, I really don't have a problem with what anyone else believes. And that's great. Those voices are really important. Everyone's voice is important, and those voices need to be heard. What we would love to hear, of course, is those same kinds of expressions of tolerance, of understanding, of inclusiveness, not just from individual young people around the place, but from Muslim leaders, not just in Australia, but in the areas, in the places around the world which are places of leadership in Muslim teaching. Egypt, Iraq, Saudi Arabia if you're a Sunni, or Lebanon, or Iran if you're a Shia. But there's a problem, and the problem is that we won't hear those things from those leaders at all now or ever. And the reason for that is simply this, that every one of those places where those young people have said there's no problem with us being a Muslim in a Western society, there is a problem. And the problem is simply that those things, every one of them, having friends who are unbelievers, not wearing head covering, not being concerned about what other people believe, is contradicted or counter-commanded by Muhammad, the Quran, the teaching and example of Muhammad, the Sunna. Having friends who are unbelievers? No, not permitted. Muhammad said, or the Quran says, do not take for yourselves friends amongst the unbelievers. And in another place, if only they had known the will of Allah, they would never have taken friends from amongst the unbelievers. Headscarf mandated by Muhammad and the Sunnah. Not caring what other people believe. Surah 9 verse 5, slay the idolaters wherever you find them. There are commands throughout the Quran that faithful Muslims, whether they like it or not, are responsible to fight against unbelievers wherever they find them until all the world is subdued or all the world is converted to Allah. What this means, of course, is that those young people, genuine and caring and bright and open as they are only able to live in Western society and to have those tolerant and open values in as far as they are willing to ignore the teaching of Muhammad and the Quran. So can we expect similar expressions of openness and tolerance, inclusiveness from Islamic leadership in Tehran or in Mecca? No, I don't think so. I'd like to think so, I live in hope, but it's just not going to happen, because as long as Islamists, as long as Muslims hold on to Muhammad, as long as they believe that their religion requires them to accept, follow, submit to his teachings, the Sunnah and to the Quran, there can be no coexistence with believers in other faiths. There can be no genuine friendships with believers in other faiths, except to the extent that individual people are willing to ignore those teachings.